It's so hard these days to stay present in the present with the ever-present one. Regrets from the past rob our ability to remain in the present, to be present to His presence in our lives. And fear of the future robs our ability to be present as well. So for those who are feeling a bit overwhelmed by what has happened, what is happening, and what might happen, I want you to know you're not alone. I was recently introduced to a written prayer composed by German theologian Karl Rahner. It's entitled, God of My Daily Routine. It's ideal for those who feel hemmed in by 1,000 daily responsibilities or pressures. How easy it is to think that God is detached or far off instead of right in the middle of things with us. Rahner wrote, "My soul has become a huge warehouse where day after day the trucks unload their crates without any plan or discrimination, to be piled helter-skelter in every available corner and cranny until it is crammed full from top to bottom with the trite, the commonplace, the insignificant, the routine." Like many of us, Rahner found himself overwhelmed by what he called empty talk and pointless activity, idle curiosity and pretensions of importance that roll forward in a never-ending stream. In the end, he concludes that the way on with God is not to wait and hope for a day when things will finally settle down, when you can make room in your life and give God the run of the house. No. He writes, "I now see clearly that if there is any path at all on which I can approach you, it must lead through the middle of my ordinary daily life. I must learn to have both every day and your day in the same exercise. In devoting myself to the works of this world, I must learn to give myself to you in everything. In you, all that has been scattered is reunited. In your love, all the diffusion of the day's chores comes home again to the evening of your unity." I love this prayer. It reminds me that God meets me in the middle of my ordinary daily life, that He's with me through it all. Things get dumped every day into the warehouse of my soul. Anxieties and interruptions get in the way. But then I notice, as Emily Griffin wrote, that God is in the middle of the warehouse, giving me the strength to sort things out. A big part of learning to faithfully follow Jesus and being present in the present with the ever-present one is retraining our minds through spiritual practices. Practices enable us to pivot, to turn away from something the enemy wants us to believe and turn or reorient our hearts toward God. For example, whenever you're tempted to believe that you're unlovely, unlikable, or unloved by God, whenever these thoughts of self-rejection and condemnation are introduced into your mind, I've found it helpful to simply respond, God likes me, God loves me, God loves loving me. I am the beloved of God. It's a simple thing, but incredibly powerful. As I practice pivoting away from self-rejection and condemnation, embracing what God says about me, it's getting easier and easier, and I'm learning to live rooted and grounded in His love. Give it a try. It's one way to practice His presence.